This is 2OF Entertainment.
Check this out. I have actually never seen one in the metal. All I've ever seen is in posters or in magazines and stuff like that. That is a 1980 Ferrari 512 BB, but it's a Koenig one. So it's got all this special stuff on it, a very highly spec car. So this is the sort of stuff that's available here at Salon Prive London at the Royal Hospital in Chelsea. It's an extraordinary event. The best thing about it is the sun is shining. There are some sensational cars. The crowds are now coming in. As you can see, there's lots of people behind me now. When we first came in, there weren't that many people, but now this place is really packed out. The weather's got a lot to do with it, but also the cars, from the classics to the vintage to the latest electric cars and hypercars, they're all here. So let's take a look around. Let's see what this show is all about.
So this is the first in the UK. Brabus Germany haven't even built based on this model at the moment. They gave us a hard task of building it in the UK. We've only completed it yesterday, so I hope you guys really like it. So, as you can see, the full front end has been changed. Got a lot of carbon fibre running through, aerodynamics. So all this is a full new section on the front end. You've got little detail on this red section here. You can pick any colour, and we can sort of customise that to the customer. Carbon fibre inlays. Comes on the 24-inch Z4 alloy wheels. We've got the Brabus braking system. This is actually based on the SV, so it's the top of the line for Land Rover. 4.4 V8, 615 bhp. It's had all the interior done, diamond stitched. At the rear of the vehicle, you've got a full carbon diffuser, sports exhaust, carbon rear spoiler.
I'm James, I'm the sales manager at Supercars, and we brought a little selection with us today. We've got the Esco, which is the latest release from Koenigsegg. This was the first car in the UK, and the owner has kindly let us borrow it for this event. And then behind we've got the Regera, which has got effectively one gear, so it will go 0 to 255 in one gear. And then in the far corner we've got an Agera N, which is a one-of-one bespoke car from 2011. So a nice range of cars from different eras.
Built with the driver in mind, engineered for real drivers is our campaign line, and it absolutely delivers on that as well. So there's a couple of things that really dial the driver into the car and bring that sort of passion for driving back, and like I say, that's the focus of it. It really is a leap forward in the second generation, or the second car in the next generation of Aston Martin following DB12. The huge change, and something that I know a lot of you will be most excited about, is the new interior on the car as well. And the interior is completely new. There's been no carryover at all from the previous car. We have a touchscreen for the first time in Aston Martin following DB12, which everybody was very excited about, but it's been completely designed in-house as well. So it's not something that we've borrowed from another manufacturer. It's completely new, and as well as the performance being class-leading, the interior is now finally as well class-leading as well. So
celebrating 50 years of the 911 Turbo, launched in 1974. It's been a mainstay of the Porsche lineup since then. We've got two models on display here as part of our stand this year. We've got obviously the 911 Turbo, 992, and we've also got a Taycan Turbo S, which is kind of been put in to kind of showcase how the Turbo has moved on from purely an actual engine component effectively in the original 911s. It's moved on into almost becoming a brand in its own right, and that's filtered through to a lot of the products within the Porsche range. So that would include obviously the turbo iterations of the Cayenne and many other models within the Porsche range. So got 50 turbo 911s coming in a couple of hours.
Well, no, even they'll be coming shortly. So everything from the first 933 litre all the way up to a 992S,
yeah,
and everything in between.
Wow.
So that's going to be one hell of a sight.
Should be incredible, yeah. So yeah, enjoy, and yeah, these two cars here. This one's finished in Arctic grey, and the Taycan's in jet black metallic. 0 to 60. Porsche quite conservative on their numbers, but you're looking at 2.5 to 2.8 seconds on these cars. This is the Taycan here, isn't the newest Taycan which has just been announced. So this is a model year 24, the new Taycan. We haven't yet got into centres. I'd have loved to have brought it along, but we're getting that in the next month or so. But two models here which are absolutely the pinnacle of Porsche engineering.
We are delighted to be back here once again to kick off the Concours season. Today is a very special day for Rolls-Royce. We've got two fantastic commissions showcasing the very best of Bespoke. Starting behind me, we've got an iced Arctic White Ghost, which has got an amazing and captivating interior, Iceland Moss and Mandarin. And then over the other side, we've got Spectre. Spectre was launched at the end of Q4 last year. It is our first all-electric car. Sitting on 23-inch wheels, the largest ever fitted to a Rolls-Royce. We have a beautiful expression of Spectre, dark emerald with Iceland Moss inside. Do come take a look later. We'll be here for the 3 full days of the concourse and kind of look at the expressions of luxury that we have today. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great few days.
We have two amazing products on stand today. We have our first and our last. We have our last internal combustion charge, the Emira, which is a fantastic car. We have also our first electric hyper SUV. Please, if you haven't seen these cars, come and visit us throughout the day, in the next 3 days. Also, we have an amazing brand center in the heart of Mayfair, opposite to the Ritz. If you haven't been there, please come and see us. We would love to come and welcome you, talk about cars, talk about Lotus, heritage, and what we stand for. So I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. The electric here just rewrites the rule book, doesn't it, for SUVs? This is it's the first phrase, the first hyper SUV.
It's the first hyper SUV.
Yeah.
It's all inspired into our halo car, which is the Avaya. So you see this line of the super sports cars that comes from the bonnet all the way to the back. That defines what we call it hyper SUV. And it looks like it is a massive SUV, but once you drive it, it drives like a small car. So I would invite you to drive it.
Well, 3 versions, 600 horsepower, all the way up to 905.
Absolutely.
I want the top one.
100 kilometers in 3 seconds.
2021 ushered in a new era for Maserati with a complete new product portfolio. And it started off with the MC20, our halo car. And you can see on my left here the next version, which is the MC20 Cello convertible. 630 horsepower, 12 seconds to open the roof, and you can turn the roof from opaque to transparent with the flick of a button. Following 2021, we've seen a year-on-year increase every year in sales, and that's been due to the plethora of new model introductions, and most recently the Gran Turismo and the Gran Cabrio. And we have an example here of Gran Turismo. This is in the ICE format, so 550 horsepower. This is actually the Prima Serie version of it in a Nero Cometa texturized paint, so come and have a close look. It's an interesting one. And then behind me here we have the Grecale. The Grecale is our first mid-size SUV. This is the Trofeo version. But of note, we have recently launched the first luxury mid-sized fully electric vehicle, which we call Grecale Folgore. Folgore stands for lightning bolt in Italian, and that is the start of our product offensive. We now have battery electric vehicles in Gran Turismo, in Grecale, and on Monday, just a couple of days ago, we launched the new Gran Cabrio in full electric format to the world as well. And that will be in the showrooms in the coming few months. So we're really excited about that. So I'll leave you just to say we are now fully electric, and by the way, 2025, this becomes fully electric as well.
This is the Cyberster. It is a car that we've pretty much been showing now for almost a year. Excuse me. It was first unveiled publicly at Goodwood last year, and we're now very, very close to getting it on sale in the UK, so really, really exciting.
When will that be, do you think?
That's a great question. I think we're pretty close. We want to get the orders open as soon as we can, because we know we've got lots and lots of people that have expressed interest, lots and lots of people that have already placed speculative deposits, and dealers that are saying to us, when are you going to open the order? So I think hopefully by the end of the month, we're pretty close.
It's 100 years of MG, isn't it? And you know, as a man in his 50s, I can remember the old MG midgets and the MGBs. I mean, this is the latest, the modern day interpretation of the two-seater sports car that MG was basically famed for, isn't it?
It is. I think it definitely has a nod to the past, but it has its focus very much on the future, because of course the big difference with this car is it's all electric. You know, MG, we've had a real meteoric rise in the UK the last 3-4 years. You know, we sold 81,000 cars in the UK last year, having sold just under 19,000 in 2020, so really big sales figures. But this is a very big departure, if you like, from the modern interpretation of MG, but one that's really exciting for us.
It is. I mean, just on the numbers, you've got single motor, dual motor, 308 horsepower, 537 horsepower. The fastest one is hit 60 in about just over 3 seconds, heard it. So it's a proper performer.
Oh, it's terrifying, absolutely. I mean, I've driven this extensively, and when you put it in super sport mode, you put the launch control on and you just literally hold on. It is sensational.
And it's the perfect configuration, is it? Two-seater, long bonnet, short back, a lot of power.
Absolutely, and it makes you feel great when you drive it. It's an absolute feel-good car. You drive it, you know, the performance is incredible. It looks amazing. Designed in London, got to say. So big nod to our design studio
just down the road
in Marylebone, absolutely, in our head office. So they came up with the dream. And they designed it, and obviously, you know, the results are here for everyone to see.
Welcome everybody, welcome to Polestar. Exciting time for us as a brand, because we're coming this year with not one, but 2 brand new SUVs, both of which start customer deliveries in the summer. So we're taking orders for both of them. The new arrival, the Polestar 4, very much the SUV coupe. The fastest Polestar that we've ever produced, 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. 400 kilowatts, which for the less initiated is around 536 brake horsepower. And not only that, but you're also getting 360 miles of range. So very excited. One of the things to note about this car is there is no rear window on this car. Instead, you've got a digital display that gives you far better definition, far better viewing in the dark. So something for you when you've done your tour to come back and have a look in. It's a working system, so you can see what that does for you. But very excited about it. Great news for the brand. I mean, we've had a big year. There are now 26,000 Polestars driving around on the roads in the UK, and we know that with these 2 SUVs coming, very exciting year ahead of us at Polestar. So very glad that you could be here to enjoy it for yourselves, because this is our first public showing of the car anywhere in the UK outside of one of our showrooms.
The press are calling this the Superstar, Polestar Superstar, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. The initial press reaction, the first drives that they've done on prototypes have been absolutely fantastic. I think one article that said, if cancel your order for the Porsche Macan and buy this. So yeah, we're hugely excited, and even the sun's come out for us, as it always does at Salon Prive, as I know.
We have a direct line, don't worry. It's great to have you here.
Thanks, great to be here.
All of the cars on the Concours classic car set area are presented by dealers and restorers themselves, and they are all for sale. I'm not going to say too much because I don't know too much, but William, this is a £17 million specially curated collection of vintage Bentleys that William and his team have been putting together now for some years. So we're going to unveil these cars one by one, and William Metcalf, owner of Vintage Bentley, is going to talk you through them all. William, welcome back to Salon Prive.
Good morning everybody, thank you for coming, some familiar faces. As David says, this is completely unique. A little touch on our history, almost 30 years we've been in business restoring and rebuilding the finest vintage Bentleys in the world. We've also managed to sell quite some historic cars over that time.
So we're very privileged and honoured to bring these cars here today, and we call it the Ultimate Collection. It is really the finest of Mr. Bentley's engineering and work. And if we open the first car runner, this is a 1925 Bentley Supersports. They only made 18 of these cars. Each of them came with a written guarantee to do 100 miles an hour, and that was in 1925. Out of those 18 cars, there are only 4 left with original coachwork, so all of the bodywork is original. The leather in the car and the back of the seats is all original, and this is unrestored. This is a preservation class category car, and they are so rare and so unique, so to have one here today is fantastic, and it starts us off beautifully into the collection, which if we move along, the second car here is a 1930 4.5 litre Bentley. No ordinary Bentley. If anybody's seen the Netflix series Peaky Blinders, this belonged to the landlord of the Southampton Arms. What the landlord was doing walking into a Mayfair showroom ordering a brand new Bentley, God only knows, but he did. Unfortunately, he didn't keep up with payments on the car, so Bentley Motors repossessed the car. So it had a bit of an interesting first 5 years of its life. It was then bought by one family and stayed within that family up until just a few years ago. So nearly 80 years of ownership with one family. Again, this is preservation glass. A lot of the leather in the car is original body covering, some of the original finishes, and on the engine still one of the factory seals. So it's incredible. It stands as a testament and a benchmark for this model. So this is a real reference car, and again it fits beautifully into our preservation. Then moving along, the mighty Speed 6, Mr. Bentley's favourite creation. So this we've restored completely. This was another American Concours recently, David, and it's a 100-point car, and this has had absolutely everything done. So there is a beautiful example of our preservation work and also our restoration work. So when new, this was delivered to Viscount Mandeville. There was only 2 cars built to this specification, and to homologate the racing at Le Mans, the uprated Speed 6 engine, this was effectively engine number 1 in this car here. So it is an absolute rocket, 4 people and luggage. You can put it in top gear, pull away, and it will take you to 100 miles an hour. So really something quite special. Moving on, here we have the 1925 Le Mans team car. So this, after the win at 1924, W. Bentley knew that he had to go racing, and this is the very car that he built to take on the 1925 Le Mans. So drivers were Kensington Moyer and Dr. Benjafield, and then if you know your motoring history and Bentley connections, they're quite some significant names. This car we've restored actually twice in the last 20 years. It's raced all over the world, it goes everywhere. Managed to pedal it to a 7-minute lap around the wall last year, so it's an absolute dream. Beautiful, love this one. I don't want to sell that one, don't buy that one. I want to keep it. Over here, the fastest pre-war Bentley ever built in period. The chairman of the company, Mr. Walkaround himself, he wanted the bragging rights for the outright record of Brooklands. They built the Monarch of Hassan. It's recorded as being the most expensive car that ever ran at Brooklands. Oliver Bertram was the driver, and its fastest ever lap was 143.6 miles an hour. And that is an average lap, so on the straights he's over 150 miles an hour. You'll notice this lovely snorkel that sits out the front. You've got a 3-inch pipe and 140 mile an hour wind pressure blowing on the carburetors. So it's atmospherically supercharged, which is just mind-boggling. But at 143 mile an hour, she's a real handful. So the 5 cars together represent the ultimate collection. We have a sports car, a touring car, a Grand Tourer, a Le Mans car, and a Brooklands car. A 3 litre, 4.5, 6.5, and 8 litres. So we're cutting across every model and every genre that you could ever dream of. So it really is the ultimate collection, which we are launching here today for the first time. No one else has seen it in the world. You guys and girls get the first dibs, which is wonderful.
Paul's just become official UK partner for what lies underneath here. So it's a bit of a move away from the motorbikes and everything else you see in the marquees. But Paul, let you unveil the new Microlino.
Okay, so yeah, we're a business about having fun. Transport should be fun, vehicles should be fun, Motorcycles in many cities are good urban transport, but in this country we have a weather that, today, David, you've got brilliant weather, but it's not always good. So we're now working with Microlino, which is this new city car, electric city car. It's very cool, it's very cute, it's ultimately great fun to drive, and that's what our business is about, passion.
The notes I was given for this said that it would carry 2 people and 3 crates of beer.
Yes, that is the official line. How would you not want to be involved in a vehicle that can do that?
Or two people and 3 crates of champagne, whichever way you look at it. But this is, they say it was born in Switzerland, raised in Italy, wasn't it?
So born in Switzerland from the guys that came up with the micro scooter 20 odd years ago. And their mission in the world is to provide good urban transport. It's designed to cross park, it's designed to enter and exit from the front. It's available in 2 versions as a quadricycle, so it's available as a 17-year-old up standard license vehicle, 56 miles an hour, or it's available for a 16-year-old as an L6 quadricycle, 30 miles an hour, on a moped or a CBT license.
A little bit about me, I started the company not only 3 years before we came to our first Salon Prive, so we started in a shipping container with a credit card, and I was 23 years old with my young team. 4 years later, and we're here again with one of our latest toys. This is to celebrate the launch of our Dubai outlet. So this is a Triumph Bonneville Bobber. We're ambassadors of the Triumph factory, so we lean on British engineering, British built, and we have a small team in Milton Keynes where we engineer and manufacture everything. So this is a cross between a cruiser and what would be like an old school desert sled, motocross style Dakar bike. So something a little bit different to what we usually build, something a bit crazy and something a bit wacky, and we built it for an event that we'll be heading to next month. We'll be racing on the sands of Margate on the beach, so something a little bit different, and yeah, something that will hopefully catch the eye of some of our clients and customers this weekend, and yeah, hopefully the sun stays out and we can have a good time.
The Concours Devant, all the cars in the Concours Devant are for sale, and a lot of the brands here today are actually launching cars for sale, so they've been putting special collections together and holding special cars back for this very event. So William, Bill and Moss, good morning, welcome to Salon Prive.
Morning, thank you. Yeah, it's quite a special car, this one that we've had in the works for a little while now, behind the scenes. It's a car that we restored for a client of ours, and it's now coming up for sale after being enjoyed for a good few years. Matt, I'll let you take the cover off so everyone can have a look. So Hilton Moss, the Mercedes-Benz brand, is one of the big parts of our restoration facility. We've had a relationship with Mercedes-Benz as a manufacturer for over 40 years now. This car was restored completely in-house, from the panel work to the paint work to the engine to the interior to the trim. The whole lot's done under one roof in our Bishop Stortford UK facility. And we're also debuting the ski rack on the back, which is an authentic Mercedes-Benz, genuine part. It was an option in period. Although not skiing time of year, it does look quite cool. And something to see. But yes, we've had a long-standing relationship with Mercedes-Benz brand, and this car's now for sale, launching today. Not been seen for quite a few years.
This was a 150 mile an hour supercar in its day, wasn't it?
Exactly that. They were hugely advanced car of their period. You know, the rival, the coupe, this car's sister car, the coupe, was the fastest production car at the time, and equally the first mass-produced direct injection engine as well. So hugely advanced and smooth and easy car to drive as well.
Yeah. These 2 Lamborghini Countaches from Furlonger are the yin and yang. You've got the black with the white interior and the white with the black interior.
Hey, are you enjoying this video? Then make sure you hit the like button. It's very important. Plus, comment, share, and make sure you're subscribing.